Hey guys, welcome back to the live stream. We are working on John and Susan's van and we are wrapping things up. We're installing the swivel seat back in the van and we're going to jump to it. That is what we left off. Inside the van here, we'll hop in. If you guys were watching the live stream earlier, there's a tab right here. And what you need to do is make sure that you cut that tab out. I'm trying to think where I put it. See if I can find the piece that I cut off. So here we go. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So there's this little piece that sticks out, and it's got to come off so that the back of the seat, when it rotates, it does not run into it. I mean, different seats are different, but it's better to get it away. Go ahead and get it out of the way. When you have factory seats, and then what you can do is you can, if you change seats, you don't have to worry about cutting it off later. But yeah, that piece is knocked out. We used some satin paint. It's pretty much close as you're going to match it, but you do want to paint over it and sand it up because you do want it to look nice, because you will see this upon entering the van. Next, we have our swivel seat. This is not sponsored, but we did get it from the swivel shop. These are Scopima seats, or swivel seats. And these bases, Scopima, made in France. And I'm not partial to any seat. I think these look really nice. I think they're nice and low profile. And just all the stuff I've read on the internet, videos and stuff like that. Just like you guys, watching YouTube and seeing people install them, I think they're good. And then I've installed 2 of these sets, so I guess 4 in total. And if you didn't watch the last video, the only quirk is the hole spacing is slightly off on every Ford Transit. Doesn't matter if it's the driver or the passenger seat. So, gently put these in, and then kind of slowly, hand tighten them down before you get on them with a Allen socket. And yeah, you're pretty much ready to go. Next, we will take 2 things. We're going to make sure that we have, oh yeah, you will use Loctite for the base bolts. You can use Loctite for these. However, these have a serrated nut for locking and a nylock. So I don't use the Loctite up on the top surface for these. Just the base. You'll want to, before you install this base, go ahead and pop it open. You may have to bump it with like a rubber mallet to unlock it. It's the only way you're going to get these screws in easily. So make sure you do that. Next, you're going to want to make sure you have a 1/2 inch socket ratchet, 1/2 inch socket with a ratchet, and then you want to have a 1/2 inch open-ended wrench with, this is for your seat controls. So this is the airbag safety stuff, and then if you have electronic seat controls, this is where that comes through. Make sure you feed this through the center first. I have not done that in a couple of installs, and you have to take the whole entire base plate off. One time I did it even when the seat was installed. So anyway, so that's a little catch up of what we talked about in earlier today's stream. So we're just going to get right to it and put this in. This is a 7mm for this small hole. We're going to lay this right down right there. There is a nut sticking out of the bottom of the van. You may want to snap that back up on there. Usually I leave that off because I don't know how much cable play we need, so I usually just leave that off. Now we're going to have the plate unlocked. Also, if you missed the other video, I was trying to get the van outside, and I installed the passenger seat on the driver's seat So now I have the, hold on a second, checking my phone. Oh, hey, Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Glad to see you on here. But yeah, this is the passenger seat. It's actually not the driver's seat. And in the other extreme, we unbolted it. So now we're pretty much just going to take it and we are going to unplug that control. I've already loosened it. And then we're just going to gently move it over here. We will rearrange it here in just a second. I'm just going to lightly put it on the base. Okay. And then same with this, you want to make sure that the sliding, the adjustment mechanism for forward and back is locked into position. You don't want it to be loose. That's going to give you a bunch of problems. One being that looseness is going to allow the tracks to move in different directions, and it's almost impossible to install the seat. So just go ahead and get the tracks locked in. Put the tracks in the middle of the seat so that you can thumb the nuts on. You have clearance to thumb the nuts on. If the seat is moved too far forward, you're going to get to the back nuts easily, but the front ones are going to be a pain in the butt. So do that. And then same thing, I just do one side at a time. And go real gently here, because we don't want to scrape and mar up our freshly powder coated swivel seat. So just take your time. Another thing we installed was the new version of the Lagoon table mount. So there's a slim, low-profile mount, and it's not sponsored, but I found it on, oh man, now I'm going to forget where I found it. Yep, I forgot. I will have to go look on the computer. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here it's a slim mount. I mean, it's a quarter of what the normal mount would look like. We are also going to be working on that today, not in this live stream, but tonight I'm going to be cutting out the panel for the back of the kitchen galley. So I'll probably, fingers crossed, get to show you that tomorrow. And again, I've got everything in here just finger tight. The upper holes are better, but the base plate holes are not. They're just, I feel like it's more Ford than Scopima. I don't know, it could be wrong. Maybe it's both. But the washer you're going to want to put on top of the track with the lines, like the serrated part of the washer going up, and then the nylock nut on top. So you don't want to put those on the bottom because we need that clearance so that the seat can operate. And as soon as we get over the driver's seat, there's a couple of things that I had to modify in order for the swivel to fit to the base, because these swivels, they don't, since they're low profile, if you want the low profileness of the swivel, which everybody wants a swivel, but they don't want to sacrifice the height. So the nice thing about these is they're pretty low profile, but what that means is the seat base you have to modify. And this time when I say modify, I mean you need to cut. So the battery box strap, I don't know if it's more of a strap, it's like a metal stamped sheet metal bar that it's almost like a tie down for the batteries. So that's got to go away. I don't make it go all the way. What I do is I cut it so I can retain the carpet. So I make it so I can retain this carpet just for visual purposes. So I cut it about right here. So when I get over there, I'll show you the piece I'm talking about. And as always, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me in the chat. Love for you guys to check out Van Builder HQ website. So on the website, we've got a lot of blog posts where I break down in detail some of the different aspects of a van, whether it's cabinetry, solar power, refrigerators, 12-volt air conditioners, kind of a deep dive on those subjects. And then as always, the DIY Van Build cheat sheet's a great place to start. It's a free Excel sheet that I put together, and it's basically the last 3 years of all of my Amazon purchases for the shop organized in an Excel sheet. And a great way to get you kick-started on thinking about van parts or referencing van parts. And it's completely free. You can just go to vanbuilderhq.com or click on the link in the description below. And if you guys are like John and Susan, who are looking for somebody to build them a custom van like this, you can visit me in my business, which is Odyssey Custom Vans. That's how they are working through me with Odyssey Custom Vans, and we're building them a custom adventure van. And yeah, go to the website. There's a consultation link where you can schedule a consultation with me right over the phone, and we'll talk about your project. Okay, so check. Now we will take our cable here, and we will get this thing installed. And get this in the right orientation. And if you guys can believe it, when I was chatting with you about not getting that cable in the right position, I actually got it in the wrong position. So I gotta loosen all these up. So I'm trying to see if I can just loosen them and then pull the cable. All right, so you can learn from my little mistake here. There's a little steel bar that will pinch the controls cable. So close. Oh, we did it. Okay, heck yeah. Now I do not have to remove the whole seat. Excellent. Yeah, it just gets pinched. There's just this little steel bar. It's just like a track support bar. And if you accidentally let the cable get underneath there, it won't give you the slack that you need for the whole entire seat to twist. And in some cases, it will cut that wire over time with you swiveling back and forth. So make sure you take care of it now so you don't have to worry about it later. If you can get a slimline wrench, that would be nice, because you saw me shaking the seat. It's just the wrench getting caught, but it like this, the one with the two sides is a H5. And this is a 7mm. I don't know I forgot where I got this, but you just need an Allen wrench, but this one is actually more specific. Okay, we're doing good. We got our cable right here. So we're gonna plug that in. And then once you plug it in, you have to use this 7mm to actually screw in and make the connection. Okay, once you've done that, just check and make sure that everything spins freely. This seat you can unlock and move it back, but it does bump into here, so obviously you need to twist it. And then the red knob at the front is how you disengage it to swivel again. So just make sure this thing is locked in place and not moving. Okay, that is good there. So we're still working inside the van, so we're just gonna keep this forward. All right. But you guys are gonna wanna see the swivel, so we'll move it back. So next, let's go in here and let's finish putting our seat belt in. Okay, I don't think we need any type of special thing for this. I'm gonna move the camera so you guys can see what I'm working on. Oh gosh, I just saw that, Daniel. I didn't know you. Yeah, be careful when you're working on the van. Okay, so we're putting the base in as well as this side piece. So we upholstered this whole side. So that's a nice extra to do in a van. Just gives you a nice, more polished look other than the painted. A lot of people leave it painted, but if you're going to do the bottom, you might as well come up here and do the top. I'm just making sure that I got this order right. So there is a bolt that I need to get into place here. Okay. So that's good. That's actually going to hold that up there. The bolt. And if you can, keep all of everything you use in the van. Just make sure you got it up here at the front. All right, let's use this bolt. Nope, that's not it. This one is a threaded bolt. I think this is too big. There we go. Now I'm looking for the toolkit that I was using underneath the van. There we go. Let's see. So this is also a 7mm. And you're gonna need some wild screw attachment. You don't have to, but I don't want to. I've already got these plastic pieces in place, so. Now don't forget that the seatbelt goes over this top light plastic, and then the darker plastic on the bottom, it goes behind it. So there you go. This has one of these, I call them terrible clips. It's for some reason, it's a clip that it's not meant to be taken back out, so it usually breaks off and you have to re-bend it. I mean, obviously I haven't broke it, but I pulled it out and had to reform it back together. This one is one where once you have it in, you're not really going to make changes easily after that. So again, just take your time lining everything up. These snaps, make sure you didn't forget anything. And then at the same time, I'm taking my hand on the right side and I'm pulling the trim back so that when it snaps in, it's good to go. So I think somehow that's got to come up higher. There we go. Yeah, plastics are a pain because you don't want to, kind of have to forcefully snap them in, but you don't want to break them. So it looks to me that I need this to go up just a little bit more. So I'm going to loosen the screw. See if I can get that plastic up just a hair. That's probably why I got all this rubber. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, that's in there. Okay, bottom's good. Side's good. Just give that a quick wipe down. I'm just kind of spot cleaning as I go so I don't have to do the whole van when I get done here. Okay, next we are going to put the seat belts in. So this first one, I'm going to come up and over. And this one is, let's make sure this is a T50. So this is a big 1/2-inch wrench ratchet we're using. For this one, get the seat down. We just want to start these by hand. Make sure they're now this already has pre-installed Loctite on it. Okay, and then don't close this because this cover goes up underneath this like that. Okay, so now this, be careful, this can break off easily, but you just need to make sure that the adjustment option is good. And you can see here I used masking tape to hold my bolt. So that one, the Loctite was good. So they have a pre-installed dab on there. This one, it's kind of cleaned itself off. So we're going to go ahead and add more. And this is going to go on the other side. That's another thing to remember. If you use Loctite and you have to disassemble something, usually that's going to be fully removed, typically. Okay, now this one, what you're going to do is this belt goes, can you guys see what I'm doing? Let me check the video here. So where the back of the seat folds down, you want to take this seat belt, you want to go inside. But make sure you take your seat belt and this bottom piece of plastic and keep it on top. And then loop it through. And then you're going to come in here and we're going to go ahead and tighten that up. So we're going to swivel our seat, which is convenient because we need to access this bolt. Again. Now this one has a positioning tab. So when you put the seatbelt in on the right side, you're going to make sure you locate that positioning tab. It rotates it forward about 45 degrees, and you're going to want to make sure that that goes in there. Do not tighten it because on top of it without adjusting that, or you'll pinch that locating pin. Okay, then once you do that, you can go ahead and just test the operation of the seat belt. And then finally, you're going to have these plastic side covers. So this is the passenger one, and this is the driver's side. All right, so it looks like 30 pound-feet is our torque setting. So I just wanted to pop that in there. I'm sure I'm right there at it. Yep, I'm already there. So we'll just double check this one. So let me see if I can take this off without breaking it. Okay. So we've got 35 So 35 foot-pounds, and that is what we're going to do. And for your purist out there, I'll even take the extension off. Just gonna get here. So we're right there. Okay, 35 foot-pounds. Seat belts. So I'll leave that in the van so we can do the rest of them the same way. Now don't quote me on that, you do your own research online, but that's what I set mine to. Technically it's 40 Newton meters, but that's pound-feet that is relative. All right, plastic is done. Let's spray some more cleaner over here. All right, finally, the driver's seat. Man, it has taken forever to get to the driver's seat today. By the way, when you guys were away, I installed the running board, and then I also finished plumbing the Webasto exhaust pipe. So it is now integrated into the running board. That doesn't mean that it's gonna melt or make the running board hot. I may show a picture of it in the future, but essentially what I have is I have a 3-inch stainless steel bolt that is coming down from the step, and then I've used 2 lock nuts to adjust and offset for the exhaust. So nothing is actually touching. It is just yeah, it's not touching, it is offset. Same thing for the muffler. You're gonna make sure you want the muffler offset underneath your van. And then not only with the muffler, but so one thing I did is I didn't see any of this in the manual, or I've never seen anybody talk about it online. But you had that exhaust pipe really close to the fuel inlet on the pump, and so the way that I did it was to make sure that, let's just say you had a leak. You just don't want that drip to drip onto the exhaust. So I've got the exhaust offset like it's probably 2 or 3 inches, just in the event that may happen. But if you're running any type of diesel or gasoline heater, you know, just need to keep a small fire extinguisher with you, because you never know what could happen. You'll be driving down the highway, maybe a stick come up in your van. So that's really something, it's kind of like a personal to-do list for a van owner, is to just every now and then just check it. I read some excellent advice the other day online where you need to run your Webasto once a month for 20 minutes, regardless of, I mean, if you're using it, then, you know, you won't have to do that. But if you're not using it, even in the summertime, you need to run it for 20 minutes once a month. That's just what I read in a video. So, okay, finally. Moving on to driver's seat. Now, for the driver's seat, I did a no-no and I slid the seat forward before I took it off the van. So, not a big deal, but it will make it harder for me to get these bolts in here and the back side. Another thing I did over here is I tried to keep the battery cover. So what I did was I hole sawed out a hole in the plastic cover, and what that's going to allow me to do is bring that wiring up for the swivel part of the seat. And man, as soon as I'm talking to you guys, I almost did it again. This is what I'm talking about. Take this, pull it up to the top over that bar. Don't talk to on camera and then ignore this again. Take it up, bring it above that adjustment wire, and just make sure it doesn't go underneath. Yeah, that is a pain to go back and fix that. Okay, I'm going to shift spots now that I have that bolt in. I also went ahead and, so I had originally purchased this van for a shop build, and then John and Susan got it. But in between that time, the battery had died multiple times because I didn't have a battery tender on it. So one thing I did was I took care of getting a brand new battery for them in this van. And I upgraded it from a lead acid battery to a AGM battery. And that should just make a nice, you want a nice foundation for a new power system. You don't want to have all these weird errors and just funny things happening to you because you tried to, cheap out on a... Now, if you can't afford a battery and you're trying to keep one going, I completely got that. But if you have the opportunity to put a new battery in when you put a new power system in your van, especially if you're doing alternator charging, because if you don't have a new battery and you have a worn out battery, it's not going to charge properly. I mean, you might get away with it for a little bit, but it's just not going to charge and discharge properly, and you might have some kind of false errors that don't really explain themselves down the road. Okay, so here's where I messed up. See, I got the seat pulled forward. So now I got to move it back. Okay, maybe I can get away with that. Didn't realize I'm probably messing the mic up here. Okay, over here, almost there. 2 more in the back, and we're done. If you want to move the seat to make it easier to get to these bolts, you can do that. When I say keep it in the center, I'm mainly talking about when you first put the seat in. That's what I would do. So now we're going to take our controls, make sure that wire is free. We can reach over and grab our socket. Okay, that's all good. Now let's grab our piece of plastic. Oh yeah, let's get our seat belt in here. Okay, that one I already did. Oh, I did. Okay, this is the one I didn't do. Okay, so remember this one. So all the Loctite has pretty much been rubbed off, so we need to reapply. Torque it down to 35 foot-pounds. Now when we put this back in, remember there's this is an indicator tab. See this? It's got to go into its, the indicator tab has to go into its hole. So you got to rotate it forward and then it'll go in the hole. So both of them go towards the front of the van. It is not the circle hole. It is the rectangle hole. Okay, got our torque wrench out. There you go. Finally, well, first let's make sure the seatbelt works. And we'll come in here with the plastic cover on. Now the plastic cover, you got to go up and then straight down. It doesn't pop in from the side. And if you lift the handle up, it'll make it much easier. There you go. Now, when you undo your seat belt, and this spins around, Ford is famously known for having to open the passenger door to rotate, swivel your seat, but also on the driver's side, I have the steering wheel all the way compressed. You can see here, you're going to need to spin it, push it forward, like that, and then spin it around. So that's how it's gonna be like that for you, and then take it here. So don't go all the way back because you want enough room so that you can recline the seat like that. And I go straight back because the fabric can move over the steering wheel, whereas if you turn it and try to go that direction, which, you know, you can if you're trying to talk to somebody. That'll still be in the way of the steering wheel. And then you can just take your seat belt and then just pull it down here to the side, kind of out of your way. Or even underneath the armrest. But yeah, you just kind of have to deal with that seat belt, just like that. Just don't pinch the seat belt to where you can't get it out. So something like that. Okay. So that is both swivel seats installed. All right, let's keep doing our kind of clean as we go. I do need to pop in the front of the van, and I got a GPS sensor for the Wolf box, and I've just been holding off on that because it's not really a major important thing, but we're actually close to the end, so might as well find a place for it. So we installed a Wolf box into this van. Let me move the camera. All right. So this whole box up here on a Ford Transit is pretty, you can't see that. Let's move this. How's that? No? I mean, that's kind of look weird. See, whatever you can do to get it off the camera. All right, maybe that looks better. I'm not sure. So we got a Wolf box camera, and there's a GPS sensor that goes with it, and we just need to put it in the van. Thomas had his installed right here, so I just need to make sure that the person that installed his was thinking about all these other wires. I'm really big on, you know, when I build something, it's, can you take it apart? So, for example, if we put that up here and glued it, this cover might not be able to come off. So. And all this plastic in here, man, it's so brittle. So that's one of our microphone cables. We want to make sure it doesn't get messed up. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so that is back in its home position. Now one of these other ones is a charging cable. I mean, it's a reverse camera cable. So I need to make sure that doesn't get pinched. Oh, I just see here, this is not, we missed a snap. Okay. That's secure. Man, I'm telling you guys, this stuff is it's so tight. It's like a maze of cables. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to feed our video feed cable in the back here, but I'm trying to do it without, because when the clamshell closes back, if I had it in the old position, it's just going to cut the wire. We don't want that. All right, let me check on the camera. I'm gonna be here for a minute, so let's get the camera zoomed in or something different. You guys get to see all my riding gear. All my motorcycle gear is just piled up here in front. There we go. There. It's halfway organized. All right, where is... I need something to grab the wire. There you go. Well, that's not gonna work. I think we'll just do it old school. All right, perfect. We got it. We got the wire. Excellent. Okay. Now, the question is, do we still have enough slack to plug it in? Yep. Okay, good. Next, now we can get the GPS in here. So we need to put it somewhere where we can hide the cable, but still take the cover off. So I think we can go right here. I think we can go right here and then still All right, so I'm going to clean it off. I'm going to mount it there, and I think we'll be good. So now I'm just going to make sure that we can stuff this excess in here. That'll all. Let's retie this in a second. Come on. Get you guys a better view, because this is not a good view. There we go. All right, so what we're doing, this is Wolfpack's rear view dash cam. So it's actually a rear view mirror and a screen, which is really cool. So power is the first power, so that is connected to the ignition, so that when you turn it on, this power is on. That way it doesn't drain your battery when you're out of the car. Second one is the rear camera. So that's actually wired all the way from the back door all the way to the front of the van. That's a really good thing to do in the very beginning. It's almost impossible if you try to do it right now. You will need a double extension cable for the Ford Transit. The extension cable is not long enough. Next, we have the, well, I guess finally we have this GPS cable. And it's not that important. It's, I think it's mainly for if you want to do the speed feature or something like that. But as far as dash cam goes, I'm not sure. Because I I've driven Thomas's van a bunch, and yeah, Thomas, you can definitely comment if you're watching, if you use the GPS feature or not. But in his van, I just mainly use it so I could see people behind me when I'm driving. So this is a live video feed of people behind you, just like it would be a rear view, what you would see in a rear view mirror. It's pretty wild. But now that we got that set, we can wrap this up. Literally. And we can stuff these wires in the top of the housing, and that's pretty much it. There's not any more room for anything else in this van. Let's see if we can get this in here. Just a heads up, if you crack your windshield, just in the future, just friendly heads up, this whole circuit board and everything in the front of the Ford Transit, you'll need to remove your wolf box before the glass guy comes. I would not assume that they're going to connect it back properly. So you would need to remove this, and which is funny enough, Thomas's van came into the shop because he did have a rock crack, so that's how I know about what I'm about to say. This whole entire windshield, this whole circuit board comes manufactured to the Ford Transit glass. So all the bits, pieces, the radar, I don't know what's in here. It's like a whole computer almost. This right here has nothing to do with this. Just a heads up. I just happened to find a factory Ford Transit mirror mount to mount this to. I just wanted to make it look factory. But this all goes away with the old glass, and a brand new one comes in with the new glass. There's not an easy way to change this over if you do crack your glass. So just be prepared for that, or have somebody that you can take it to have this reinstalled if you're not comfortable plugging all this back in yourself. You'll have to rewire all the wires and all that fun stuff. So just, again, yeah, just be prepared to do all that. Yeah, feeling good about the wire placement. I do have some stuff over here on the left side that is coming out of the ceiling. So I've got that tight, put up there pretty well. So that must have just been I must have adjusted it oddly. Anyway, now we're ready to put in our cover. So we left enough space right here, and we need to really make sure that this cover with a hole goes over the pin. So that is going to keep it from falling backwards. And then again, in the bottom, really make sure you don't pinch these wires. You cut these wires. I might be able to salvage it, but as a DIYer, you'll probably have to rerun a whole new set of cables. Got one. Got a little cable sticking out there. That's funny. How did that thing get up there? Get back up there. There is a SD card in here, and it comes with these rubber bands on the back that hold it, so you can take this off with these two rubber bands fairly easy. So I'll just show you. Okay, so you get two rubber bands, so if you guys can see that. And so I have a Ford Transit factory rear view mirror. And then, okay, so now it turns on. I think it's also a theft thing where this is not supposed to turn on. It is battery powered, but I think it notices that I'm trying to take it off without the key in the ignition. So if it's that smart, that's really, really cool. If that's just a fluke, like I hit the power or something like that, put the plugging the cable back in, I don't think so. But yeah, it's recording me right now, just doing all this stuff here. So I think that is pretty sure it's a tamper resistant thing. Could be making the whole thing up. Anyway, here's the screen. It's already recording up here. Now that we plugged in the GPS model, we have our direction in miles per hour. We double click, we got our menu functions. We're gonna make it stop recording. If you swipe, it does a wide view, so the stuff in front of you. If you swipe again, it's going to do front view and rear view at the same time. And if you swipe one more time, you're just going to get the rear view camera. So that's just like you would have a normal rear view. Now, we mounted this one to the bottom because we also have the Ford Transit stock camera. So that's wired into our Dynavan dash. A lot of fancy things. We'll go over that on the full tour. I've got to get back to work, but that was yeah, fun video for you guys today. I know I haven't been trying to catch up on some live streams, get you guys to see what's going on the channel. Yeah, that is pretty much all we got for the video. Let me hop on the computer, do a little bit of a sign off. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this live stream. Stay tuned for the next one. Make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that notification bell. I go live at random times throughout the week and probably more often now that we are finishing this van up. That's going to do it for the seat install, the final setup for the wolf box, and the seat belts, plastics, all that good stuff. Next, we'll be moving into the back of the van. So essentially what I did was today, everything from here forward is finished. So we've got the new battery installed, we've got the Dynavan installed, we've got the 2 swivel seats installed, the wolf box cameras taken care of, it's got the GPS set up. Yeah, so everything from here forward, including the Webasto heater and the plumbing, the piping for the exhaust and intake is taken care of. The running board over here is installed, and it actually goes from right here all the way over here. And so John and Susan, it's pretty low. It's pretty low profile. So the bonus is, man, it is so, it's just like, it's like an escalator getting in. It's so smooth. Yeah, very nice. Very strong. Just heads up, you go into parks or anything like that, that clearance right here is, speed bump, stuff like that. It's not that aggressive, but I'll give you a measurement. So from the bracket to the ground is, with the van loaded, it'll probably be about 6.5 inches clearance. And then your Webasto exhaust is 6 inches of clearance from the ground. So just to keep in mind when you're driving, don't go off-road and go crazy, because but it does make an amazing. It's very easy to get in, extremely easy. It does exactly what we planned it to do. So yeah, so that's in there. Next, we're gonna be moving in or backing up. So I've already got this board pre-measured. The only technical thing that has to be done, which is not hard, is this is the outdoor outlet. So we've already got the wire ran and all that stuff. All we gotta do is cut the hole in the board, put the outlet here, and we can check that off the list. Yeah, so tonight, I'll probably cut this board out tonight, because I'll need to treat it, get it taken care of, paint it, sand it, all that good stuff. The water system's working great. I'm gonna do one more pressure test since I put the new valves in the back. Fridge is installed, microwaves installed, the lighting, interior lighting, front and rear zones work great. Both of them, dim. Oh yeah, that L bracket. I have this L bracket. I'm gonna do it before the live stream's over because this thing has been on my checklist for like 2 weeks. That's the thing with a van. If you don't finish something in the van 100%, you'll tend to, it'll go to the very back of your mind, and then it won't get done. And also, if anybody is new to the channel and they're wondering about this crazy production here, I essentially just film live straight. I'm recording this to my computer, and that way, I can go back in time, record it, or look at what I did, and maybe kind of put that into like a little montage for you guys. But it's really just live stream to stay open, and then if you guys have questions while I'm just kind of working on the van or something like that, I can hop over, see it on the computer, and then you guys can ask me the question. Let's see, let me bring this back into over here. I feel like during the day, it's just like, I film for a couple hours, then I grab some food, and I go film for a couple hours and grab some food. It's kind of like the theme of the day. It's kind of funny. You gotta eat to have energy. All right, let me set this camera up. That way you guys can, because I know some of you haven't even seen this at all. So let's redo our lighting here. Okay, 10 more minutes of the live stream, so this will be great in case you guys have questions. You can ask them. You may want to ask them about this. So this is the toilet box. We call it the Trillino box. It's also it's a jump seat. It's storage as well. And I've got to come in here with some more cork pads because that new paint is it's like a satin finish. Man, for whatever reason, it kind of sticks a little bit. Anyway, as you can see, we've got a custom enclosure for the Trillino. So this allows you to, in the middle of the night or during the trip, get in here, sit down, very comfortable. This is recessed around here, so your legs are not going to hit this angle. This just stays open by itself. There's tons of room in here. Let me show you. I mean, there's so much room. So this we'll take out. And then this is what I did not finish. So I had a bracket here. Now this bracket I needed to be right there so that this doesn't vibrate, rattle, or move. Now, the issue was this does not taper, the toilet doesn't taper aggressively enough to not hit these. It just wasn't it wasn't right. So I only do things the right way, and that's why we're putting a low profile little bracket in here. And the rest of the van, I know I talk to you guys a lot about safety. So the rest of the van is really bolted to the frame, where there's it's either riveted or whatnot. So this, on this edge, I don't like drilling stuff directly into the floor, but for this, you know, this is not kind of a make or break item. So this one is drilled into the floor. There's really no cavity back here. This is open. So where this is, there's not a good place to mount it to the frame of the van. And I don't want to drill into here for my drawers and this. Plus this is basically just a, you know, just a box. So we have this mounted to the floor. And we do have a bracket holding it to this on the back. I did add that. But what I'm doing here is I don't want this, I'm actually going to sit on this while I do this. I just don't want this making any noise while they're on the road. And so now, man, this is solid. Solid. Before I drill any more holes, double check your work. Make sure the fix that you wanted to be a fix is a fix and not the same thing you started with. Okay, see? Super flush. Doesn't touch the bracket. All right, so that's good to go. So we're gonna add 2 more screws just because we want to. All right, when you can shake the whole entire van, you did it right. Okay, what else did I want to do here? I think that was it. So this is, guys, this is huge. Like this, just space. I'm just gonna stand inside here. The space over here on the left-hand side, I mean, you can put, see, 6 rolls of toilet paper. I also designed it to where a piece, I'm gonna show you guys on the live stream. That's what we do. All right, so if you guys had we got two examples here. So if you had toilet paper roll, fits in here all the way down. And then, so you could fit maybe 1, 2, 3. You can definitely fit 3 stacked. So this is a toilet paper roll. So look at this. You have a toilet paper roll and, well, no, you can't do both, but you kind of get my point. There's a toilet paper roll there and this. So you got a bunch of height. So you could actually put the toilet paper roll in and get your toilet paper in there too. So the point is there's a ton of room that we didn't really plan for, but we got it. And this comes down, and I purposely did this offset here because I don't want any way, I don't want in any way for this to rub this very nice finish that we have on our cabinetry. And I did find a cushion. And for you guys out there, probably gonna sound like I'm repeating myself, but there might be new people in the stream. That's just a cushion from Lowe's. It fits almost perfect. Yeah, so pretty much this section is, once I knock out the back of this kitchen galley, we're going to be able to put the drawers back in. And then after all that, all we have to do is just tidy up the back, and we'll be done. If we go to the roof of the van, so yesterday, van was out, tested all the solar circuits all the way down to the EcoFlow power box, and that was that was great. But I left all the wires exposed, so I mean not exposed, but I didn't have them zip tied down just in case I had to redo some wiring. I didn't want to cut everything that I had already done. So I would say on the top of that, it's just cable management on the top of the roof, but I mean the air conditioning is working great. Actually, it works really great. Don't quote me on this, but I think it starts up, it seems like it starts up 4 times faster than the Dometic RTX 2000. It's just, maybe that's just me, but that 48 volts, it just seems like it's just much more of a positive start. You're not really kind of waiting for a ramp up. Yeah, so tonight, after this live stream, that we're going to focus on this. The challenge here, let's see if I can get you zoomed in. Here's why this stuff takes time. So this is the kitchen galley back. I've been thinking in my head how I want to mount this, and I want this to have access. On the other adventure van that I built, I was able to drill and tap holes into the aluminum, and so it was stainless steel bolts holding this on. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to use the black painted stainless screws and then screw this on, because it's important if you need to get to this stuff back here to work from the back. The drawers and all that stuff, it just makes it, I would say it's almost impossible. I did make it to where you can't access these valves and stuff and the water filter from the inside. That's pretty obvious, but anything major, I don't want this glued on permanently. You know, if you guys watch Humble Road, he's really big about access. So I want this to be able to access in the future if you need to change anything. Because if it's wood glued on forever, you know, you're going to be cutting and ripping it off. It's just, so the panel that I make, I'll neatly screw this in. You know, it's very neat, and that will be that'll be the plan. Yeah, so that will be the plan tonight, and then we can move on to the rear. So the rear of the van, we have. So the rear of the van, the whole entire bed system is taken care of. The items that have to be built in the rear are the rear storage container that goes over the bed. We'll have 5 10 by 13 storage units or storage bins. So these things right here. So we'll have 5 of those. So I've already got that laid out, and that's going to be 68 by 18 inches, 68 by 18, and then that 68 by 18 will allot for the 5, so you can take those in and out. Yeah, so. That'll definitely, those two things will definitely take me about 2 days to build. And then the final part of the back of the van that has to be done is the part that you should end with, which, in my opinion, and that's the electrical enclosure, because that allows you to test everything in the van, make sure the heater works, make sure all the lights work, the water pump, everything in the van. And then once everything works, you get it all labeled, you can take it apart, build your enclosure, and then wrap it all up. There's a ton of cable in the back of this van. Even though we went with EcoFlow, we still have a lot of cables in the back of this van. So yeah, that is the plan. If you guys wanted to hear the plan. But if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you guys get subscribed. Also, check out vanbuilderhq.com. It's our website. We get a bunch of blog posts and articles on there, from how-to build guides, camper van product reviews, product buying guides, stuff to help you out with your DIY van build journey. And then I have put together this free cheat sheet. It's called the DIY Van Build Cheat Sheet. It's essentially an Excel sheet of all of my Amazon purchases over the last 3 years, organized into different areas of the van, and it's yours for free. Just put your name and email address, hit download, it'll be right to your inbox, sent right to your inbox. Link is in the description below, or you can go to vanbuilderhq.com. Also, don't forget to check out my custom van building business, Odyssey Custom Vans. So Odyssey Custom Vans, that is the van behind me, John and Susan's van, Odyssey Custom Van, that is who we are, that's me. Here's the website if you guys want to check out the other adventure van we just built and took to a couple of expos. And normally I would say that it's for sale, but guys, we sold the adventure van. It's going to Brian and Robin. And if you guys are watching, you guys are next in the queue. So as soon as John and Susan's van is out of here, your van will be coming in here, because you guys wanted some additional upgrades to the van, which is really exciting. But yeah, the van is sold. So that is their new van. So this van that we were working on as a spec build for the shop is now their van officially, and we'll be doing 2 major things to it. So that is a full suspension lift from Van Compass, Topo 2.0, I believe is what we're doing. And then we're doing a dual alternator system, and then we may be changing up the way that the water is pumped in or out of the van. But yeah, so we've just been kind of waiting to get all that scheduled. So, and then we are working on another build that end of this year. So that one's going to be a surprise. I haven't. We're working on that one, but I will tell you more details on that. So, pretty exciting things happening at Odyssey Custom Vans. Yeah, but just wanted to, if you want to contact me for a van build, go to my website, odysseycustomvans.com, click on the link to schedule. It'll bring up a calendar where you can click and find a good date and time to hop on a phone call with me and do a consultation. So I'll be excited to talk to you about your custom van build. Yeah. I'm going to take a quick break, get back to working on this van. Thank you guys so much for watching that are still here on this live stream. And if you have any questions, put those in the chat, in the comments. We'll pick that up in a future video. And yeah, stick with it. I will be going back into the comments and answering those on a future, kind of like a marathon live stream. You guys have asked so many questions. I have not gotten a chance to get to them working on this build. So we'll get back to that probably in, I'd say, 2 to 3 weeks. Well, we can revisit that. But don't stop asking the questions. I'm here to help. That's going to do it for this live stream. Join us tomorrow. We won't have one tonight because it's already late. But join us tomorrow. See where we got on John and Susan's adventure van build. And we will see you guys in the next live stream.